All right, y'all wore me out in the comment section of the Clipper video and told me that I gotta try out these JRLs a little bit more. So your boy Philip's back in the chair. These are his JRLs. We're gonna test them out in this video. I'm gonna let you guys know what I think. I have kind of played around with them before. I've never done a whole haircut with them, so we got the trimmer as well. We're gonna see what they do. All right, guys, so we're gonna do my same exact steps. I already cut the top. I wasn't gonna include that. We're gonna start with the number 4. And these are my wall guards, same ones I always use, guys. That is a plus already. Oh, they're a little rattly, but so we're gonna do a number 4. We're gonna come straight up off. You guys know he likes this weight on the side. So one of my first tests I always look at with clippers is how does it feed into the hair. You guys know I like to feed the clipper up into the length and kind of go ahead and get that connection done without having to do a lot later. So I can tell you already it is doing that pretty decent, better than some. Honestly, guys, I think fade blades are just terrible at that. And this has a taper blade. Is that what comes on it? So apparently that's what comes on it. So this is a JRL taper blade gold. And you guys can see it's pretty much blending right into that length on top. Just prepping the side panel and then we'll come in and do our ball fade. I'm actually gonna come in underneath with a 3, get it a little more consistent on the sides before I do the fade, just so I'm not working into so much hair. May even come in and fade down to a 2. Then our side panel will be a 2. If you guys didn't see, I just did not long ago, I just dropped a stacking guards video. That's basically what I'm doing here. And if you guys wanna learn more about that, check that video out. But basically, guys, we're just gonna compact all these guards, 4, 3, 2, right through this area, go ahead and transition into the top, and then we'll be able to come in and do our fade into a 2 instead of letting all this hair kind of mess with us. So that was the 3, now we'll come in with the 2, and I'm trying to flick right into the 3. Big thing here, guys, you don't want to see any type of guideline. You just want to transition right into what's above it. And like I said, that's basically setting up. Now the whole side of his head is a number 2, making it nice and easy. I know some of you guys struggle. So you're doing like a ball fade and you got to cut into a bunch of hair. This is making it a little bit easier. So I know I can always do my same steps and cut right into a number 2. And so I like to start off this way just to go ahead and prep the panel. And now when we fade into it, it's just fading into it too. So far, so good. These are definitely super quiet. Still don't love the shape of them. It's a little bit different, but you know, you guys can get used to that. All right, guys, so I'm not gonna punch the line in. I'm gonna go ahead and just scoop this in. So we're gonna go basically no C cup, right below the C cup. I'm just gonna scoop it in. I'm just talking to Philip about how gapped these are versus how gapped the trimmer is, and he said the trimmer is pretty sharp, so I don't wanna put too harsh of a line in. And these are pretty zero gapped. It's definitely bald enough. I'll be able to come in with the shaver, but I'm gonna go ahead and just set the line and then we will bald out with the JRL trimmer as well. Do you know what that one is called? I know this is the 2020C.
2020T.
T?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2020C, 2020T. So this is the clipper. Obviously, we're just kind of scooping out our guideline. Now I'll come in with the trimmer, go ahead and ball it out. A little bit of noise on this thing. Nice little bit of crunch. This is actually modded, right? So this is the Filthy mod with the Gold FX blade. If you guys aren't familiar, Filthy Blends makes a bunch of different mods where you guys basically can take your favorite trimmer body and put your favorite trimmer blade on it. So a lot of these companies, sometimes the trimmer is pretty sweet, but the blade maybe doesn't cut as good. And so this allows you to put like the Gold FX blade on this JRL or on a Gamma trimmer. I did just see he's working on a mod to put the X Pro blade with the 1 blade off of the Saber trimmer on the Gold FX. So that would be kind of crazy, or on the FX trimmer. But guys, this Gold FX blade on here is definitely balding out nice and short, a little bit shorter than the clipper did. Plenty short for us to come in and use the shaver. Now I'm not gonna include the shaver, guys, because I don't have a JRL shaver. I don't know if they make one. We'll go ahead and get this shaver bald and then we'll come in and start our first step. All right, guys, so we're balded out. Now we're gonna come in, lever all the way open. Like I said, guys, this is the taper blade from JRL. Not gonna go too high. We do have kind of 4, 3, 2 right here, so we kind of have to here to blend in. So I'm setting my open section. Guys, these are super quiet. And the trimmer does have that mod on it, but this is just how it comes. I ain't gonna lie, it's cutting pretty nice.
I'm not gonna lie, I love them.
You love them. So I actually made him put he had an Oster blade on here with another Filthy mod. I didn't make him, but I wanted to test him out as is. He actually broke or I don't know if he broke it or if it just broke, but the JRL trimmer blade, one of the pieces broke, so we weren't able to put that blade back on. But either way, the Gold FX mod is definitely something that I would do as well. So we're gonna kind of test him out, how he has them. So far, so good. You guys know I like setting my open section with the taper blade anyway. So now we can close it up and we'll start to work from the bottom. Remember, I put this line in with the closed clipper, just so I didn't have too much to take out that this clipper wouldn't take out. So clipper closed at the bottom. Does this come with notches or it's floating? Oh, it's notches. It has notches.
It's notches. So that's the only thing I could think of in regards to use it.
Yeah, so you guys know I don't love notches. I can use it, obviously. A lot of stuff these days has notches and the fade blade. So now I'm going to the second notch. We're just going to bump that up slightly. Just continue to work our way up. You guys know if you're on the second notch, if you're on the first notch, you should be at the bottom. If you're on the second, you should be, a little bit further. And as you go up, basically, if the clipper's open, you should be at the top. If it's halfway open, you should be in the middle. If it's closed, you should be at the bottom. So just kind of keep that in mind. That'll keep you organized. Now we're at the third notch and we're kind of connecting into what is above here. So nice and easy. Now we can kind of detail detail, guys, just playing with the lever. If you see a spot back here, like this is kind of a dark line, we'll go ahead and open it up. We want to make sure that the open is consistent. Now we'll close it a notch. We're just playing it safe, kind of trial by error, trial and error, not trial by error. Now we're on the third notch, and we just keep working down until we get the transition that we want. We play it safe by opening it up so that we don't come in and just kind of gash what we already did. When we have the panel kind of blended together, we don't want to mess it up. So far, not a huge like learning curve or anything. Obviously, it has a taper blade. I'm comfortable with that. Clipper shape is something I didn't like, but it's not as crazy as I thought. It doesn't feel terrible or anything. You guys can see we got this panel together. Now we can move on to our one guard, start working our way up. I'll come in with the open one. Remember, guys, it is just a 2 above it. We went ahead and faded down. So you can see already how much easier that makes. I am going to hit this right here, but it does make it a lot easier. These things have a decent little crunch to them. I can hear them cutting. Not too heavy, not too bad at all. We haven't spent a lot of time on this, but it is blending together pretty nice. So there's the open one. Now I'm going to go ahead to the 1.5 half open. We're going to go ahead and tie everything together to above, and then all we'll have left is that last line that we have underneath the open one connecting to the open section. And just a little work with the 1.5, guys, to tie into what's above it. And if we need to come in and clean up what's above it, we can, but it should be good. Philip likes it way heavy and just a nice fade underneath. So once we get the 1.5 done, we can continue to work down. Now, guys, I can't see back here as good as you can. I'm kind of focusing right here. I'll touch that up later, but now back to the open one. I'm just going to make sure that it ties into the 1.5 and make sure that I don't come in with this closed and just cause some damage. So now I know that's good. Oh, go ahead and close it up. And we'll start to work on that last line. And this is where it starts to be important that you can hear the clipper cut. So we don't want to cut a lot here. We don't really want to cause any damage to all the work that we've already done. So I'm really looking to kind of flick through some spots, get this blended together without cutting a bunch of hair. We just want to cut what we are trying to cut to connect it all together. So that's the one closed. You can see we still have a little bit left in there that we need to clean up. And that is what the half guard is for. We will come in with the half and finish this up. Now just notice, guys, it actually has a switch. All the way up is a little stronger than down. And I just noticed on the front, we got 4 hours left of life. So those are some cool things. I did talk about that in one of my previous videos. Some clippers have the battery life indicator. I know at the end of the day, like it's gonna blink or it's gonna do whatever as it dies, but it's kind of a cool bonus. It makes it seem a little bit nicer. And now we're in with the half guard, guys, half open. We're just trying to tie everything together. Doesn't feel like it's cutting a lot. Again, guys, you can hear it. The half guard likes to kind of slide on the skin. So I'm just using the corner. You see a little bit of dark stuff here through the middle. Just trying to touch that up and then we'll be done with this side. I may run through it one more time and just make sure it's cleaned up. First time I've used this clipper for a full phase, so I ain't gonna lie, guys, you guys may be the same as me. Like when you have something that you like, sometimes you don't really even give other stuff a chance. I mean, I think we can all say that we do that. I've gotten stuff before and recommended the guys to try it, and it may be so different than what they normally use that, you know, they take one lick with it and like, no, not for me. So I think we're all kind of guilty of that. And I was definitely guilty of that with the JRL. It's decent. I don't think I'm gonna run and pick one up. But you guys can see we're getting a nice haircut together here. So yeah, guys, I'm just working back through. I just had a little bit that I didn't like, so I went with the 2. Now this is the 1.5. Just same exact steps as we were doing. And again, we're not trying to like see a bunch of hair being cut here. This area right here I wasn't liking, so we're just kind of working back through that, making sure it's consistent, and you know, we got a good blend, and then we'll be done with the cut. So you can work your way all the way down if you want. We can go all the way. I'm gonna go right back to the 1. We can go all the way down to the half if we need to. We'll just work our way back through. Kind of want to go through your steps a little bit quicker. Don't spend a whole lot of time, and then we can detail now that it's finished until we're happy with how it looks. So Philip's got a little bit of difficult. He gets a nice haircut. I got a couple pictures on Philip that are just some of the crispiest, blurriest looking cuts. But sometimes in the midst of it, it's like, oh man, you got some spots, and he's just got interesting hair. It's not super dark, but he's definitely got a good amount of, you know, little indentions and things that make the haircut difficult. Again, that's why we kind of go through it once quickly, and then once we can look at it and kind of see what we got, we can come back and detail it like we are. So you guys can see it's coming together. I'm going to do one last pass with the half guard, and then we call it done. You can see a dark spot right there in the middle of that, guys. And that's where we're just going to have to go cut by color. Even though I've done the steps and gone through the whole section over and over, it's still not coming out. And so that's where I just have to decide to kind of go in there. I might even have to go with like an open clipper and just literally cut that one spot down. You see, I just took the corner and dug it in there, and it actually is really lightening it up. So sometimes when you're cutting the color, guys, you're gonna go outside of what you normally do just to get one spot to look consistent. But I think we got a little passable haircut here on my guy Phil. Just a little detail work with the open clipper, guys. This is where I think the taper blade really comes in handy. Because when you have a fade blade, this gets a little risky to come in here and come in with the open clipper or start to close it up. You know, you guys can really just gash something that you've been working so hard on. So the taper blade is kind of forgiving, and that's why I recommend it for a lot of beginners. I don't prefer a fade blade. I really don't care for one. So taper blade just kind of makes it easy and safe. And you guys know a lot of the techniques I teach are easy and safe. So, all right, we're gonna call it done. Go ahead and blend his beard in real quick so we have something to line up, and we will line up his vertical bar and his beard and see how these trimmers do. All right, guys, we're gonna test out these trimmers. Not a lot of hair here that you can see, so we're gonna just slightly hit this corner where there's some overhang, line up his vertical bar. You may not be able to see it here, but you will definitely be able to see it on the beard line. And again, guys, this is the Gold FX blade, so if you guys are a fan of the FX trimmers, or at least the blade, now you can throw it on your JRL or anything else and get the same nice blade on your trimmer that you like that may not be the FX. So I'm gonna go ahead and line up his beard slightly just to see if they cut. So you guys can see cutting through a little bit of bulk. This obviously isn't much bulk. We'll go ahead and do his bottom line and see. There's certain things I like my trimmers to do, my clippers to do, and that's kind of the stuff that I've started to test for you guys when I do test different tools out. If a trimmer can't put a line on a beard, then that's something I'm gonna need it for, then that's something that may take it down a notch, or if it doesn't get a very sharp line. So now down here, and sometimes guys, if there's a lot of hair, I do use a clipper, but I just like to see if a trimmer will kind of freehand like you can see. So I can freehand and get a line at the same time. Definitely no problem. Now, unfortunately, guys, this is the FX blade, which we all know is one of the best that there is. So I think you put that on any trimmer, it's gonna do well. But JRL trimmer with this on it is pretty solid. So maybe if Philip gets that other blade back and gets it fixed, we will revisit this trimmer and do something else with it. Maybe I'll have a trimmer battle. All right, guys, that is it for me testing out the JRLs. I'll tell you this, they were decent. I'm probably not gonna run to the store and pick them up. You guys already know I have a ton of clippers, but I take back everything I said. I still don't love the shape necessarily, but you guys can see they did just fine. I definitely like that they have this taper blade. The digital readout was pretty cool. The clicks are okay, not a problem. And the overall shape is not as bad as I said. If you guys like this video, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up. Leave me a comment and let you know how we did on this blend, how we got Phil looking. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you next time.